Hey y'all, it's Michelle with Southern Inspirations. Happy Thursday. I have to tell y'all about this crock pot jambalaya that I have in the crock pot right now for dinner. In honor of National Rice Month, I'm continuing doing different dishes with rices. If you tuned in yesterday for the dirty rice, you know that I used Riceland rice produced right here in Arkansas, in Stuttgart, and I cooked extra. I doubled the recipe so that I would have enough for my dirty rice last night and then for my jambalaya today. So I'm going to show you what I've already have it all mixed together in the crock pot, and it's going to be in it all afternoon, and I'll show you that shortly. But first I'm going to kind of walk you through what I did, and then I'll follow up to post all that later. So early this morning I took a pack of the thin chicken breast, kind of the long pack. I believe there were about 5 in there. Washed them, cleaned them real good. I put the chicken breast, 1 can of diced Rotel tomatoes, a couple of good forkfuls of minced garlic, and enough chicken broth to cover my chicken really, really well. And I put my crock pot on high. This was probably 6:30 this morning maybe. Put all that in there, and I put my crock pot on high and just let it do its thing. Then I took about half of, no, I think I used the whole lot. I used a whole medium onion and a whole green bell pepper. I chopped all those up, and then I also had some jalapeno and cheese sausage, jalapeno cheese smoked sausage in the refrigerator, and I cut it up. I got all that prepped and cut it up and just stuck it in the refrigerator for later. And then remember, I already had my rice. So the chicken is doing its thing, and about, I want to say I came in here to check on it probably 10:30, 11, something like that. We're not, yeah, that's about right. I turned it down to low. The chicken was just about done, but I went ahead and turned it down to low. And then just a few minutes, I don't know, maybe half an hour or so. I don't even know what time it is right now. I may have my timing off, but at any rate, it took probably maybe 3.5, 4 hours for that chicken to get mostly done. And then I came back 30 minutes or so later, and it was completely done. So from there, I took it out and pulled it apart. At the same time, I took my peppers and onions and sausage that I had prepped early this morning out of the refrigerator, and I sauteed them in a little bit of olive oil and got them mostly tender. The interesting thing with the sausage, remember I said it was jalapeno cheese, so I didn't want all my cheese to melt in the skillet. I knew that I wanted it to be able to melt down in the crock pot with my other ingredients with the rice versus getting stuck in the skillet. So I sauteed those onions and peppers just until they began to get somewhat tender, and took it all out before that cheese started oozing out of that sausage in the skillet. So then I dumped, remember I've cut my chicken up over here and got it ready, so I cut my chicken into the bite-sized pieces, dumped it back in my mixture in the crock pot, and then from there I added those peppers and onions and sausage that I had sauteed and put it all together. From there, I worked on my seasonings, and I forgot to mention that in the very beginning, when I put my chicken in here this morning, I also had 3 bay leaves in there as part of my seasoning, in addition to the Rotel tomatoes, my chicken broth, and my garlic. So all the ingredients are coming together at this point. From there, and I took those bay leaves out, of course. I don't want anybody to have to dig for bay leaves in the jambalaya. But from there, I put a good heaping, just dumped it in there, didn't measure it, of Tony Chachere's. I put some oregano, I put a little bit of hot sauce, and then I added some beef broth. Sometimes I use beef base, and I have both, but the beef broth was just convenient, and I'm trying to get ready for a fabulous story this afternoon that y'all definitely need to watch. So bear with me. I'm going to shift around a little bit. I want y'all to see how beautiful it's turning out. So I have everything is back in here: the rice, the sausage, the chicken, the veggies, my Rotel tomatoes, my beef and my chicken broth, all my spices. and I have it on high right now. And while I go finish up my final prep that I've got to do for my story this afternoon, I'm going to leave it on high, and then probably, I don't know, maybe 30 or 45 minutes, I will stir it, turn it down to low, and then before I leave the house, after that, I'll go ahead and turn it down to warm, because you want it to be just right. I don't want my rice to get like too mushy. So I'm going to move the camera around just a little bit. First, I'm going to take my lid off. Okay? I want y'all to see how beautiful this is. Let me get my glasses on. All right. Hold on. And then, I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn it, let me turn it around. Let me see here, y'all. Okay, there's my, y'all look at those beautiful colors. So, see my rice, see all my broth, you see my veggies, see that sausage. Yeah, so there you go. That's Crock Pot Jambalaya. We will have that for dinner tonight, and there'll be plenty left over. Arkansas friends, if you end up coming to tailgate with me at the Ole Miss Arkansas game, you might see some of this here. It sure is good left over. I will post the recipe later, but one more plug for my story this afternoon. Y'all might have seen where I posted earlier about bullion. Be sure to tune in this afternoon, somewhere between 2:45 and 3 o'clock Central Time. I'm getting to this young girl's school, this fourth grader that I'm interviewing, who is taking some very positive actions to bring awareness about bullying. And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to give it away. But I'm going to get to her school about 2:30 and get ahead of that car line. You're welcome, moms. Not mess all that up. And then we hope to be live by 3 o'clock, but it may be like 2:45, 2:50. So y'all be sure and tune in. It's going to be just a wonderful story on bullying. So there you go. There is the Crock Pot Jambalaya. All the flavors have come together so well. It's just so yummy. And I'll post the recipe later. Thank y'all for watching. Live life, y'all. Bye.